Hey, what's up, people? It's your boy Evans Ongwae, and as you know, that I'm not that good at talking English. I have that Kisii accent, and today I'll be practicing on pronunciation and the right pronunciation, and I'll be reading a story. Not a story, just like it is a text, but it is very educative. It is The book is called The Confidence Game, The Con Game, by Maria Konnikova. It is The Con Game. I hope you are going to find this interesting, but don't expect much from it if you really needed content. Uh, I'm trying to train my muscles in order to have a clear and good pronunciation, and be able to articulate my words properly so that people can understand what I'm trying to say. For the longest period of time, I have had this murmuring way of talking. I'd like to call it mumbling, and I want to just start making clear articulations of the words that I speak. And change must happen. So I'm going to read from this text, so you can tell me if you are interested in my growth and my you want to see the results at the end of the day. What you'll have to do is to comment down below the mistakes I made on the pronunciations, where you did not understand the word is said, or the definition of a word you didn't understand, and that will be grateful, because I will be going back into those comment sections and looking at the words, so that I can be able to learn better about myself. I don't know if me being shirtless will make you uncomfortable. I don't want to make you uncomfortable, so probably let me pick up a shot. Oh, fucking God. You know, I said that most of the time I repeat clothes, because the way I wash my clothes on a daily basis. So the clothes that I usually wear, they are on top of the other clothes. So they are clothes which I've never worn, because they are so down low, and I usually wear the clothes which are on the top, on the surface. And when if I wash in the daily basis, I dry them, then I fold them, then put them on top of the other clothes, and I end up wearing the same clothes. It is not that I don't have any other clothes. I thought of explaining, because it gives me that satisfaction. I haven't wasted any of my energy, because the point is trying to learn. And today it is about pronunciation and articulation of words, English words. English is a very difficult language, and it is so complex, because it contains different uh I must say vernacular, epistemology, the epistemology of the words, they come from different cultures. See, like, it is a combination of Greek, Latin, Hebrew, and other native languages, brought together in order to form the English language that as we know it. As a person who comes from Kenya, and as a guy who doesn't really come from people who speak this language natively, or our generation hasn't really been communicating this language. I think I will be the first one in our family to do this. So basically, it is a great leap. It's a great leapfrog into the future, and I appreciate that I've been given and I've been presented this opportunity in order to learn. The information is everywhere. it is on our fingertips. It is not our fingertips. It is on our palm and our computers and our machines, so we can get it everywhere because the world is now a global village. So basically, let me head straight to the book. I told you the book is known as The Confidence Game by Maria Konnikova. So let's start. I'll think I'll have to start from the introduction part. So, introduction: The Aristocrats of Crime by David Maurer. We start our journey. Dr. Joseph Cyril, a surgeon lieutenant of the Royal Canadian Navy, walked onto the deck of the HMCS Cayuga. I think this was a big ship which was used in 1951 in the World War One between which was used by Korea. So it was September 1951, the second year of the Korean War, and the Cayuga was making her way north of the 38th parallel, just off the shore of North Korea. The morning had gone smoothly enough, no sickness, no injuries to report, but just as the afternoon was getting on, the lookout spotted something that didn't quite fit with the watery landscape. A small crumpled Korean junk that was waving a flag and frantically making its way toward the ship, the Cayuga ship. Within the hour, the rickety boat that was coming had pulled up alongside the Cayuga. Inside was a mess of bodies, 19 in all, piled together in obvious filth. They looked close to death. Mangled, M-A-G-L-E-D. It means corrupted, disrupt, or maybe something which is not well arranged, or something which is matambara imeta. So, mangled torsos, bloody, bleeding heads, limbs that turned the wrong way or failed to turn at all. Most of them were no more than boys. They had been caught in the ambush. A Korean liaison officer soon explained to the Cayuga's crew the messy bullet and the shrapnel.
Do not tell people your plans until they materialize. We open up 3. Never expect to get what you get.
One string pages. How many pages? JGGAs. How many pages we can cover with that? So, continue on. Where was I? So I was okay. So the mangled torsos, bloody bleeding heads, limbs that turned the wrong way or failed to turn at all. Most of them were no more than boys. They had been caught in the ambush. A Korean liaison officer soon explained to the Cayuga's crew the messy bullet and shrapnel wounds were the result. That is why Dr. Cyril had been summoned and to his was only Dr. Cyril didn't call the crew to undertake surgery aboard a moving ship. In fact, he'd never even graduated high school, and his real name wasn't Cyril. It was Ferdinand Waldo de Mara, or as he would eventually become known, the Great Imposter. One of the most successful confidence artists of all time, memorized in part in Robert Crichton in 1959, account The Great Imposter. His career will span decades. His disguises the full gamut of professional life, but nowhere was he more at home than in the guise of the master of human life, the Doctor. Over the next 48 hours, Demara would somehow fake his way through the surgeries. With the help of a medical textbook, a field guide, he had persuaded a fellow physician back in Ontario to create for the troops. In the event, a doctor wasn't readily available. Copious antibiotics for the patients and alcohol for himself, and a healthy dose of supreme confidence in his own abilities. So in order to be a con artist, you have to be very confident in what you do. So that is why I think they truncate the word confidence into con and fidence. Cons and fidence. So to be a con artist, you have to have this ability of being confident in what you do. So this guy, Dr. Cyril, wasn't even a doctor, wasn't even a surgeon at all. He was an imposter. So not to mention a psychologist and a professor and a monk, many monks in fact, and the founder of a religious college. Why could he be a surgeon? As Dimara performed his medical miracles on the high seas, makeshift operating from waves, as later just the news. When the word of the Korean rescue spread among the crew, it was all he could do to hide his excitement. Dr. Cyril's story was fantastic. Was fantastic. It was indeed perfect. Cyril hadn't been required to help the enemy, but his honorable nature had compelled him to do so. And with what results, 19 surgeries and 19 men departing the Cayuga in a far better shape than they had arrived. Would the good doctor agree to a profile? To a profile is to write maybe an someone. Take of it as a social media profile. You write something, you have qualifications, where you come from, you're in good shape or not, so something like that. So, okay, so will the good doctor agree to a profile to commemorate the momentous event, to commemorate the momentous events of the week? Who was Demara? Who was Demara to resist? Obviously, he's a con artist. He had grown so sure of his invulnerability, so confident in invulnerability. Who was Demara to resist? He had grown so sure of his invulnerability, so confident in the borrowed skin of Joseph Cyril, MD. That amount of media attention was too much, and he had performed so pretty masterful operations, if he might say to himself. Dispatches about the great feats of Dr. Cyril soon spread throughout Canada. Dr. Joseph Cyril, the original version, felt his patience running out. It was October 23rd. Remember, it was 1951. So, and there he was, sitting quietly in Edmundston. By the way, why do words of other countries or other counties and other countries seem so hard for us to articulate or comprehend? But let not that be the cog that prevents you from reaching your greatness. So, trying this damnedest to read book in peace, but they simply wouldn't leave him alone. The phone was going crazy, ringing second he placed the receiver. Was he the doctor in Korea? That was the question. The well-intentioned callers wanted to know, was it his son or another relative who was using his name in disguise? The well-intentioned callers wanted to know. No. He told anyone who bothered to listen, no relation. There were many Cyrils out there and many Joseph Cyrils. It was not he that who performed the surgery to the enemy. So, from this small comprehension of chapter 1, I don't think if chapter 1 is over yet, but this book has 327 pages. No, chapter 1 is not over. So I hope that you are following the story. So this guy who is an imposter, taking Dr. Joseph Cyril's identity and using it to treat the enemies who are injured, but they were small boys. I think it is a fair thing to do as a human being, to help out people who are in your need, especially if you have that special qualification or that kind of knowledge. I think that is a very good way to give context in what was happening. And I'd like to add on top of that by saying that humanity is much greater than authority. That is my personal opinion, but I think it plays a crucial role in our society. If you come to think about it in detail. Is it in detail? If you come to think about it. So, a few hours later, Cyril received another call, this time from a good friend whom now read aloud the miracle doctor's credentials. Now the information is spreading. I don't think the imposter thought about what were the consequences of trying to impose I don't think he comprehended the effects. The symptoms of his actions. You see now, the information is spreading all over. The press officer has released his profile, and the friends of now the original Dr. Joseph Cyril are going through his credentials. Now they are like, okay, there may be many Joseph Cyrils, but this particular one boasted a background identical to his own. At some point, coincidence just didn't cut it. Cyril asked his friend for a photograph. Surely, there was a mistake. He knew precisely who this was. Wait, this is my friend, Brother John Payne, of the Brothers of the Christian Instruction, he said. The surprise evident in his voice. Brother Payne had been a novice when Cyril knew him. A novice, how is it pronounced? A novice. When Cyril knew him, he'd taken the name after shedding his secular life. And that life, Cyril well recalled, was a medical one, much like his own, Dr. Cecil B. Haman. Dr. Cecil B. Haman. So is this the real name of the imposter? Okay, now this is becoming a plot twist. He believed that the man's original name was. So he believed it is not his original name, but he believed it was his original name, Dr. Cecil. So, interesting. But why? Even if he had returned once more to medicine, will he ever use Cyril's name instead? Surely, his own medical credentials were enough. because he was also pursuing the same thing, the same profession that Dr. Joseph Cyril was pursuing. The Mara's deception rapidly began to unravel, and unravel it did. But his eventual dismissal from the Navy was far from signaling the end of his career. So, but I don't understand there. But unravel it did. But his eventual dismissal from the Navy was far from signaling the end of his career. Profoundly embarrassed, the future of the nation's defense was on its shoulders, and it couldn't even manage the security of its own personnel. The Navy did not press charges. The Mara alias Cyril, alias, and the Mara alias Cyril, was quietly dismissed and asked to leave the country. He was only too happy to oblige. I think it's not oblige, to oblige. And despite his newfound and short-lived notoriety, he would go on to successfully impersonate an entire panoply of humanity, from prison warden to instructor at a school for mentally retarded children, to humble English teacher to civil engineer, who was almost awarded a contract to build a large bridge in Mexico. I think if you have to be a businessman or an entrepreneur, the only difference that separates these two professions is when you're a businessman, you have to make a deal, and by the end of the day, you have to meet that deal in order to have credibility. But if you are a con man, you don't end up delivering the values you promised, and that is the big difference. So, by the time he died, over 30 years later, Dr. Cyril will be but one of the dozens of aliases that peppered the Mara's history. Among them, that of his own biographer, Robert Crichton. An alias. I don't get what this means. Hey Google. Hey Google. Hey Siri.
Being honest may not get you a lot of friends, but it'll always get you the right ones. Don't worry about what other people are thinking about you, because everyone is only thinking about themselves.
Don't worry about what anyone is thinking about you, because everyone is thinking about themselves. That is true. That is a very fun fact. So I turned 8,222 days today. I promise that I will be keeping the records to remind myself that I don't have unlimited amount of time to live. So if you are watching me making this video, trying to embarrass myself, trying to improve what I can improve before I get to leave this world, I'm trying to be a better person. This is the first video, actually. I think this is the first video I've made trying to talk about this bullshit. In real time, being so, how can I say, being so serious about it. And I really don't want to talk about what I want to do. So, back to the story. So, Dr. Cyril will be but one of the dozens of aliases that papad Demara's history. Among them, that of his own biographer, Robert Crichton, an alias he assumed soon after the. Okay, so I think alias means the person who you are going to impersonate. I don't know. I haven't looked at the meaning. Let me try and find it. Let me try and find the meaning out. But Google should have done it already. I don't know why I keep calling it. Hey Google. I don't know. But let me type it out. We should be moving with clear definitions of words so that we are able to understand what we are talking about. And I told you that if you don't understand anything, welcome to the club. You will one day. Go back, come again. You will understand at the end of the day. Don't pressure yourself. Definition. You know the funny thing is, I used to say the word definition. I was pronouncing it as definition because I didn't. I can't not I can't. The whole habit, you know, especially if you come from Kisii County and for most of your entire life you have been talking Kisii peke yake, and actually I'm not even good at talking Kiswahili. Like mimi najua tu kuongea ile Kiswahili yenyewe tunaongea to communicate na wewe, but literally tuanze kuongea Kiswahili usanifu. Oh my god, what the fuck, bro, shut up, crazy. What a wonderful day. What a wonderful day to be alive. What a wonderful day to be alive and to be breathing. Okay. I know this is a very good gift and I appreciate it. God, if you're there, if you exist, know that I appreciate you. I appreciate you so much. Anything that is out there is doing okay. Maybe I might be focusing on the wrong thing. Anything which is inside of me, or even out there, or even that is doing everything and that is making everything work the way it does. I really appreciate it. Personally, from the bottom of my heart. Like, these are the days that I've been alive, and I'm very glad. Crazy. Like, I appreciate it. Look, if I died today, and I don't want to die today, but you can't choose the day you're going to die. But we should be open with it, and try to be so open with what we are capable of. Because if we keep on living like we are going to live on forever, and we don't want to talk about this thing, and it's something which it is something which is guaranteed, but we don't talk about it. The other day, I just met this old guy. Like, he's around 40s, 50s. He has a family. He's living well. So then I explained to him why I did this, and he was like, "Hey, wewe vitu unafanya, mbona unafikiria hivyo? Mimi sijifanya hivyo." Like, when someone projects their worldview, it means that hiyo kitu, like, unajua, like, ni reflection ya yeye mwenyewe. And then I'm like, okay, so it is better to leave that, like, uwache tu ujiambie, unajua sijui nitadedi, sasa mbona nijali. Like, hata mimi sijui jikundadedi, but I'm aware of it every single time. That is why I prioritize things. I prioritize myself over negative people. I prioritize myself over everything else, because we don't have that time, and it is not the destination. The journey is the destination. And what I will be doing until I die, because death is the destination. The final destination. Yeah, exactly. Death is the final destination. So I think the journey is my life, and the journey is the destination. So I let go of a lot of things. I let go of people who are treating negatively, who are not seeing the world as I saw it. I think that is a jerky way of looking at the world, and trying to socialize with people. But I feel like, okay, it serves me well. Kama unakula mavi inakufurahisha, you have happiness. Na kama unakunywa pombe inakufurahisha, and that is your happiness, then that is what you have chosen. Yeah? See, I think kitu mbaya, like, no one should judge you with that. You see, hata kwanza wakijudge, it doesn't really matter. At the end of the day, it is your journey, not theirs. And the moment you spend time analyzing someone's life, watching someone do their own thing, is the time wasted. Is time wasted wasting your own life. Really crazy. And the other day also, I met this friend of mine who told me that unajiongelesha unajua yuko sawa. And I'm like, fuck yeah, thank you. You know what, like, it is a compliment. Why? Because, like, okay, the moment umepass judgment, na wewe you're one of those people wenye ni ma NPC na unapass judgment, that is a compliment. Like, being normal is the new insanity. Like, unajua when people say that this guy is crazy ama this guy is not crazy, what they really talk about ni tuweze unipate nakula hii kitu, nakula hii ni brush, sindio? Nakula hiyo brush, ama I don't know, nakula socks ama nakula uchafu. Then you must say, like, this guy go crazy. But a guy trying to express himself, a guy trying to make his life better, ama kuna different worldview ama opinions kutoka kwako, then you end up animizing that individual, hating that individual, spreading lies about that. Like, how do you manage to live with yourself? This is the new economy, bro. This is the new economy. So the definition of the word alias, alias is an alternative or assumed name. So it is not the person you are impersonating. It is just a name you assume, just like a nickname. But a nickname is a fake name that someone gives you. But when you assume a certain name, it is a real name which is there, but you assume it. It is an alternative name you'll have to use. So instead of using your legal name, as most of the time I like using Morgan Ongwae ama Liam Ongwae, lakini jina langu ni Evans Ongwae. So I can say that alias ni kama Morgan Ongwae, nikitumianga hiyo jina. Like, I love using that name because I don't want to share my real name everywhere I go. Don't want to be that common. So I know you understand what I'm trying to say. Back to the text, because we have like 30 minutes to go. I don't feel like I'm going to finish that minutes streaming. I'm going to cut off the stream as I continue on with what I was doing. I'll have to finish this book today. It has 327 pages, so that will take me around. It will take me around 3 to 6 hours. 3 to 6 hours to finish this book. Then I will come back with a lot of knowledge, with a lot of my expansion of my Achilles. That is what the greatest organ we have. It is the brain, and the greatest function the brain can ever do. It is thinking. But thinking doesn't come naturally. You have to train yourself. You have to get the knowledge and understand it and put it into action. Putting into action, now from there you can start thinking. But for now, especially kama bado unafuata system ya shule, you ain't really an intellect. Unaweza itwa a goyim intellectual, but you ain't really that an intellect. When ni scholar, when ni grade umepatiwa na makaratasi. Yeah. So I think I'll have to cut the stream there. Are you satisfied with what we have talked about today? Hata sijui ninaongelea nini, but it was about this book, about if you have time, just go through it. It will teach you a great deal about business. It is not concerned about, it is not entailed around business. The world can be expanded. It's just that the outlook I have towards this book is that you can use this book with business knowledge, because it is about con artists. How to convince people, manipulating people, how to manipulate, how to persuade people into your bidding. We haven't even got, I think I'll have to finish the introductory part, then I will let you go, those who are interested in hearing the end of the book. I know you don't love hearing me speaking. So Robert Creighton, an alias, I told you alias is the alternative name or assumed name. So, okay. Soon after the book's publication, and long before the end of his career as an imposter. To be an imposter is to pretend to be another person, and you can make a lot of money with that, but it is very risky. I don't know how long you will be in jail for, how how much punishment goes to a person who is being an impersonator. Like, I can pretend to be President Ruto and go into State House and earn his money, or maybe to be a certain doctor. Do you remember that guy from Kenya who attended courts and won all the cases? I don't know, 27 cases. That guy was an impersonator. That guy was a con artist. I know that guy must have read this book, The Confidence Game. I'll give you a comment down below if you want to have a look at it. It is a very good book. That is the introductory part, and I know you are hooked up. If you are not hooked up, then you are not into books or this kind of stuff. Just go be an employee. But if you want to make a real thing for yourself, entrepreneurship and business is the deal. Respect me later on. So, time and time again, Dimara fled to those who knew him in disguise. And this guy, okay, time and time, Dimara fled to those who knew him and disguised them. Found himself in positions of the highest authority, in charge of human minds in the classroom, bodies in prison, in the prison system, lives on the decks of the Cayuga. Time and time again, he would be exposed, only to go back and succeed. Yet again, at unveiling those around him. How was he so effective? Was it that he preyed on a particularly soft, credulous targets? I'm not sure the Texas prison system, one of the toughest in the United States, could be described as such. Was it that he... Let's wait a minute and follow up. Oh Lord, wait a minute. 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 This will be the thumbnail of the video. So, okay, I'm not sure the Texas prison system, one of the toughest in the United States, could be described as such. Was it that he presented an especially compelling, trustworthy figure? Not likely. At 6 foot 1 and over 250 pounds, square line Bacchus jaw, framed by small eyes that seemed to sit under the border between amusement and chicanery. Today it is all about pronunciation and trying to perfect square line Bacchus jaws, framed by small eyes that seemed to sit on the border between amusement and chicanery. An expression that made Creton's 4-year-old daughter Sarah cry and shrink in fear, and the first time she ever saw it. Or was it something else? Something deeper and more fundamental. Something that says more about ourselves than we could see as the world. Something that says more about ourselves and how we see the world. It is the oldest story ever told. The story of belief, of the basic, irresistible, universal human need to believe in something that gives life meaning. Something that reaffirms our views of ourselves, the world, and our place in it. Religion. Voltaire is said to have remarked, began when the first scoundrel met the first fool. Scoundrel. Voltaire is said to have remarked began when the first scoundrel met the first fool. It certainly sounds like something he would have said. Voltaire was no fan of the religious establishment, but versions of the exact same words have been attributed to Mark Twain, to Carl Sagan, to Geoffrey Chaucer. It seems so accurate that someone, somewhere, sometime must certainly have said it. So, how does this confidence game tie to religion? How does this confidence game tie to religion? What is religion? Especially come to Christianity. Look at Christianity in Kenya and in Africa in general. So how does the the confidence game work? Smart people have connected the dots. If you are into occult and you know what is really behind the curtains. So a person like me, this is so mind-blowing and mind-boggling and mind-opening. Fuck, I have to finish this book. So, and it seems so accurate, most of all, because it touches on a profound truth. The truth. Hata jina truth inakanga ngumu kusema Kongo because I have a problem with T and TH. The truth. Okay, and it seems so accurate, most of all, because it touches on a profound truth. The truth of our absolute and total need for belief from our earliest moments of consciousness. From an infant's unwavering knowledge that she will be fed and comforted to an adult's need to seem... what the fuck am I talking? The truth of absolute and the total need for belief from our earliest moments of consciousness. From an infant's unwavering knowledge that she will be fed and comforted to an adult's need to see some sort of justness and fairness in the surrounding world. So an infant, as someone who hasn't developed the brain to think, has this knowledge that some people has this instinct that people who are around him or her will protect and feed them. So watoto wanafikiria hivyo. But when you get to grow older, this confidence game, you have to dig deep into it and try to understand it from all different angles. So it says that an adults seek and claim justness and fairness in the surrounding world. So in some ways, confidence artists like Demara have it easy. We have done most of the work for them. We want to believe in what they are telling us. Their genius lies in figuring out what precisely it is we want and how they can present themselves as the perfect vehicle for delivering on that desire. Look, the funny thing is, I don't want to talk this on camera. Maybe itakuja kunyeka kwa shida hapa ni fly. The imposters, I don't need. The imposters, like Demara, kutoka mbali. Oh my fucking god. Look. Enda Google, search watu wako na jina yako. Exactly, jina yako. Exactly. Kama unaitwa Paul Kamau, angalia watu wangapi wanaitwa Paul Kamau. Kama unaitwa Dan Kanigesora is just an old friend I had when we were on high school. Go there, look, search up that name. Search up your own name and see how many people come up. There are a lot of people who have you share your names with. And some of them, not all of them, but some of them are successful. And you can use that as a leverage. You can enter the same field that they are in. Do you get what I'm trying to say? You can go into that field that they are in. Especially kama when ujengea campus na watch video, so kama
kama unafanya engineering na ku successful in engineering, you will use that name to your advantage. That is something which watu wengi watakwambia, but you see, that is why you should be subscribing down below. Nikwambie vile tunakulianga. That is how you tunakulianga. Subscribe. So, comment down below. I'll be sharing some. That's why you should understand how con artists work. The reason I know these things, because nimewatch movie mingi sana za con artists na nimesoma ma articles za con artists na biographies. So this book one, it is a book that it got referred to me because I have a curious mind and I love discovering new things I don't know. So I'm trying to read this book in a decode a lot. Like hata si lazima niendelee. Like hiyo imenitosha peke yake kwa leo. I don't need to read the entire book, but I have to finish this book today. It will take me kama 4 to 6 hours. I will finish this book. I want to cut off the camera. Nataka nimalize the introduction part. I'm trying to explain to you and trying to give you insight of the book because you don't amoni text. Someone kuonyesha text. You don't give a shit about text. You just came here to look at me. Look at my beautiful face. No, you love me. Subscribe down below. Ama niweke namba ya M-Pesa pia hapa hivi. My name is Evans Ongwae. Subscribe down below. Crazy son of a bitch. So, angalia ni watu wangapi wako huko, wako na jina lako. Ingia hiyo field, tengeneza LinkedIn ya hiyo field. Tumia majina zao, tumia credentials zao, company wamefanya kazi huko, ziweke kama zako. Hivyo. That is what is called imposters. Ukisikia mtu akisema yeye ni con artist, si lazima eti ni con artist akuja apokea vikombe hivi azungushe. Na. Hiyo ni ile ya street. Look, nimekwambia the difference between kukaa businessman ama entrepreneur and kukaa con artist ni a tiny line. Sikia, unaona kina Elon Musk hawakuwa na hizo magari. Unaona kama tuseme akianzisha Tesla. Hakuwa na hizo magari na hata hakuanga na hiyo ndio ya kutengeneza hiyo kampani yote. But what did he do? Alisema aje miaka 2 aliuza story. Anasema by miaka 2 ama 3 ukilipa sahihi by miaka 2 ama 3 nakupatia gari. No. So like ni kama una invest lakini mwisho utapatiwa kitu. So shida ya con artist sasa difference inakuja kwa con artist na mtu mwenye kama ni entrepreneur ama businessman, like tuseme Elon Musk kama any kind of businessman. Like ni mwizi, huyo ni mwizi. Jua mtu anafanya kufanya biashara ni kuibia mtu kitu. No, ni ku exchange, hata kama ni ku exchange. Lakini to be smart enough, wale watu wana succeed sana ni wale wako so smart, wanaelewa ni game wanacheza. So con artist hata deliver that promise. Ata make sure like ata change hata jina aenda akae mtu mwingine. Unaona? Na ashapotea na hizo pesa zako. Na that pesa kama tuseme gari moja ilikuwa inaenda na almost sijui ni $300,000. Hiyo ni pesa mzuri itakuweka pale fulani hivi Bahama. You relax. You get what I'm saying? Kenya, sasa siwafaa ujue it is a very thin line. No. Hata ile wakati wa PayPal wakileta au investors ndani wakuja kuona like the platform wametengeneza ya PayPal. They never had big computers. Walichukua tu kesi wakaweka kompyuta kao kadogo ndani wakaweka box kubwa. Ndio watu wadhani wako na servers big. Ndio watu investors invest. But that is conning. That is lying. In business, you lie. The difference is utadeliver. Kama utakaa able to deliver what you promised, then you are a great businessman or an entrepreneur. But if you don't get to deliver that, you are a con artist. But the same thing. But sasa the difference is the difference is wakati like hakuna mtu atakufunza business. Like hakuna ukiingia online, mimi nimeangalia courses mingi za about business, how to start a business, how to do those things. Like zote ni bullshit. Unaona? Hizo ni vitu kwenda mbele. Kwanza especially hizo vitu sio utakao unafanya. That is just calculating the finances of a business. Bro, no. Wale watu wakifika huko, they employ people who are much better kuwashinda. Si wao wana waste their time. They need to be looking for new opportunities and new investors and their names, expanding the brand. Not working on finances alone. These people have people who budget for them. That is how leadership works. That is how CEOs and founders work. They create the image, they create the vision, the company of the industry that they are in. They expand it. If you keep on working on financing na hizo pesa peke yake mtabaki hapo. That is why employment, I really hate employment. Si kubaya. I have thought about it for a very long time. I'm very rebellious. If you really know me, you know that I'm very rebellious, and this is not to justify anything. But what I'm trying to say is that if you get a hold of this book, please go through it. Haita kuchange maisha busa hii sasa nianze kukaa na magari. No. It takes time. Kuna riches za haraka sasa hii watu wanapata riches za haraka. And like kila mtu ako na part yake. Yeah, naweza sema ni kila mtu anasema kila mtu ako na part. But it is true. It is true. The internet imedisrupt vitu na watu wanaweza tengeneza pesa haraka. But if you really want to make money, old money. Nakumbuka zile mango za baba old money. If you want to make money like the way money is supposed to be made. You already know what I'm talking about. You already know what I'm talking about, my nigga. Hey, peace out.